Mrs. Webb. They view Emily. Now, I think this is a good time to tell you that the Cartwright's interests have just begun building a new bank in Grover's Corners.
Had to go to Vermont to get the marble. Sorry to say.
And they've asked a friend of mine what they should put in the cornerstone for people 1,000 years from now to dig up. Of course, we put in a copy of the New York Times.
And a copy of Mr. Webb's Sentinel.
We're kind of interested in this because a few scientific fellows have found a way of hitting all that reading matter with a glue. A silicate glue that'll keep for 1,000, 2,000 years. We're putting in a Bible.
And the Constitution of the United States.
And a copy of William Shakespeare's plays.
What do you say, folks? What do you think? You know, Babylon once had 2 million people in it. And all we know about is the name of kings and weak contracts and contracts for the sale of slaves. Yet every night, all those families sat down to supper, and the father came home from his work, and smoke went up the chimney.
Same as here.
And even in Greece and in Rome, all we know about the real life of those people is what we can piece together out of the joking poems and comedies that they wrote for the theater back then. So I'm going to have a copy of, you guessed it, this play, put in the cornerstone, so people 1,000 years from now will know a few simple facts about us. More than the Treaty of Versailles and the Lindbergh Wife.
So what do you say? So, people 1,000 years from now, this is the way we were in the provinces north of New York at the beginning of the 20th century. This is the way we were. In our growing up, and in our marrying,
and in our living, and in our dying. Well, good deal of time going by. It's evening. The children are at home, door next door. And over there in the Congregational Church, you can hear choir practice going on. The day is running down like a hard clock.
Now look here, everybody. Music come into the world to give pleasure.
Peace like a river. I got peace like a river.
Softer! Get it out of your heads that music is only good when it's loud. You leave the loudness to the Methodists, and you can hit me if you want. Now again.
Emily.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Is the moonlight terrible? I can't work at all.
Emily, did you get the third problem?
Which?
The third.
Why, yes, George. That's the easiest of them all.
Emily, I don't see it. Could you give me a hint?
I'll tell you one thing. Dance in the yards.
In yards? How do you mean?
Square yard.
In square yard.
Yes, George. Don't you see?
Yeah.
In square yards with wallpaper.
Wallpaper. Oh, I see it. Thanks a lot, Emily.
You're welcome. My, isn't the moonlight terrible? And choir practice going on. I think if you hold your breath, you can hear the train all the way to Constable. Hear it?
What do you know?
Well, I guess I better go back and try to work now.
Well, good night, Emily. Thanks.
Good night, George.
Before I forget it, how many of you will be able to come in Tuesday afternoon and sing at Fred Bush's wedding? Show your hands. That'll be right. That'll be right nice. We'll do the same music we did for Jane Thoroughbridge's last month. Now we do Aren't Thou Worried, Aren't Thou Languid. It is a question, ladies and gentlemen. Make it talk.
Yes, Bob.
Make yourself comfortable, George. I'll only give you a minute. George, how old are you?
I'm 16, almost 17.
What do you want to do after school, George?
Why, you know, Pop, I want to be a farmer on Uncle Luke's farm.
You'll be willing, will you? Get up early. You'll get pleased to stop. You'll be willing to hold hay all day, will you?
Why, sure, Pop. What do you mean?
Well, George, while I was in my office today, I heard a funny sound. What do you think that was? It was your mother chopping wood. There you see your mother, getting up early, cooking meals all day long, cleaning, ironing. Still, she has to go to the backyard and chop wood. Now, I suppose she just got tired of asking you, but it would be easier to go out and do it herself. Even her meals. Put on the clothes she keeps nice for you. You go out and play baseball. Now, she's a hired girl we keep around the house, but we don't like that very much. I know all I had to do was call your attention to it. Get your son. George, I've decided to raise your spending money 25 cents. Not, of course, for chopping wood for your mother, because that's what you give to her. But because you're getting older, and I imagine there's much more things you must want to do with this.
Thanks, Pop.
Let's see, tomorrow's your payday, you count on it. Probably a Vector official ought to have some more too. Wonder what could happen to your mother. Choir practice is never as late as it is before.
It's only 8:30, Pop.
I don't know why she's in that old choir. She hasn't had any more voice than an old crow. All tricks in the streets all late at night. It's about time to retire, don't you think?
Yes, Pop.